So I just picked this up in the mail, haven't even opened the box yet. As you can see, this is from Fender, and this is called the Tone Master Pro. Now this is not one of the amps that Fender has released in recent years, the Tone Master series, but this is an all-in-one amp modeler pedal in a box, and this is something I've never tried before, something Fender has never done before. But it's super interesting, and considering it's got every vintage Fender amp you'd want in a box, sounds pretty amazing. I definitely want to try it out. Today we're going to do that together. It also can come with a powered speaker. It's essentially, I think they say it's a 1,000-watt powered speaker that you can run in conjunction with this box, and it'll give you some stage volume. So why don't we just go ahead and open it, the Fender Tone Master Pro. And inside is a what looks like a really well-built pedal with 10 switches down here, huge touch screen in the middle. Of course, you've got tons of inputs and outputs on the back you can go directly into. You've got effects loops, you've got stereo left and right outputs, which could be really cool if you could run like a left and right sound. And then you've got your Fender style jewel light, which I think is a nice vintage touch. As you all know, I pretty much exclusively use vintage Fender amps from the 50s, 60s, and 70s. Have a bunch here behind me. Used them on my record, which is coming out October 13th, by the way. So I'm gonna find out today how well this holds up to an old tube amp. I think I'll save my opinions for later, but I'll be surprised if I don't notice a difference. So let's go ahead and power this thing on and check it out. Input here, and an old Stratocaster. You've got your power button, top left, jewel light comes on. Starting out, we've got what looks like Fender's first preset, 65 deluxe reverb and a space delay. And then you can obviously set these for different foot switches. Go back here to the list view, and there is all kind of presets, tons of presets here. Let's check out the Vibro Blues. Okay, so this is like a Vibro King reissue amp Fender came out with, the green box, and we've also got a tremolo and a reverb pedal as well. So let's start out with this, and you can click on each icon here, so you can bring up your green box, and you can just touch the screen and adjust the levels of everything. This is really quite fun, honestly. Do we have any? We have sound. I can hear the tremolo on there, I believe. Yeah, we've got a little bit of overdrive. And then if you pull up the actual amp, which is the Vibro King that we're running, it does sound reminiscent of a Vibro King from what I remember of them. I'm gonna boost the treble a little bit, pull back the bass. This is, likely how I run any Fender amp. And then you've got your mids, push up the mids. And it's interesting because you have two volumes going on. You have your amp volume that you can adjust, and then you have your master volume here, which is what goes out to the mixer. So if I push that, it's like another gain stage, sort of. Let's go back to our, how do we go back? There we go. I'm not really a huge fan of tremolo, so let's see if we can just bypass that. What's the reverb sounding like here? It says 63 spring reverb. only got one headphone in, so I might have to use two to really hear what's going on. Let's see if this helps. Sounds a little distorted. Let's bring up the reverb. Let's see. Okay, now we're getting into Fender territory. A little heavy on the reverb there. Yeah, it's probably a little heavy on the reverb still for most people. I like that. That's pretty cool. Just using this is super intuitive and user friendly. I mean, I've never ever used anything like this before. Why don't we just go back to where this started with a deluxe reverb? Oh, it's got a delay though. I don't really want that. Well, let's just hear it first. The deluxe reverb preset. It's pretty dry. It's pretty dry. And I don't like that delay. So let's go back. Oh gosh, now I'm into something different here. I'm into speaker adjustments, which is kind of crazy. And let's go ahead and get rid of the delay. I don't need it. I don't need the delay. Let's see if we can add something here. So if you just go in here, you can see all the amps. Deluxe reverb, Princeton reverb, super reverb, twin reverb, bass breaker, blues junior, some, well, let's just say British style, UK amps, Vibro King. You've got all of your kind of standard Fender reissue amps. I want to try the super reverb because that's really where I feel at home. You've got fuzz pedals, boost, probably a clean boost, green, tube screamer, hard clip distortion, plenty of different overdrives, octave fuzz, Ranger boost. I mean, let's just try one of these other presets. Harmonic swirl, what does that do? Here we go. Kind of a trippy psychedelic thing going on. Running with the phaser, okay. Okay, it's kind of fun, but again, it's, you know, phaser, not quite my thing, but I see what they're going for there. And then they've got the EVH 5150. This is probably just going to be... I'm not gonna do it. All right. You know, it's fun, man. Cutting edge. What does that mean? Well, I have an idea based on the edge. Yeah, that's what it is. That is way too much. Too far to the edge for me. I mean, there's so many presets. I just feel like I could sit here all day. The one thing I did want to try out was just a super reverb, because that's where super reverb, 65 super reverb. We're gonna bring that in. Let's just see where we're at here with the super reverb. It's a little dry, just a little dry, right? It's a little dry and digitally, and that's what it is. It's okay. But we're gonna turn the super reverb up to 66. And why? That's interesting. So we're gonna turn the mids back down. But okay, so now I'm pushing the super reverb a little bit more. Let's see if we get a little closer to the, you know. It's close. It's just lacking the tube compression and the tube saturation, and you know, I can go ahead and add whatever else on here. I can add let's add, I mean, for me, you know, a lot of people don't like the green box anymore, right? The tube screamer, but I still go back to it. I used it a lot on my upcoming album as one of my main overdrive pedals, but I used others. Maybe a little more tone out of that, just a hair. Let's punch a little more tone. It sounds cool, man, but you know, there's an actual physical response, a real world response that happens when you play a certain note into a super reverb with real 410s and pushing air, and the sound is coming out, and it's, you know, becoming harmonic with your guitar. You're having feedback, and you gotta, you know, it's a whole nother beast. It's a whole nother animal. There's none of that touch sensitivity with this. It's you don't get that intangible that you get with the tubes and everything that can happen inside of that. It still sounds pretty cool. Let's go ahead and turn that guy off and just listen to the clean tone. It's cool, and also if you recorded that really well and had it in the mix of a recording, I think you'd be hard pressed to really tell, especially on the clean sounds, whether that was, you know, a modeling amp or an actual amp. But for me, like the overdriven sounds and the really intense rock stuff, there's just something that happens from a tube amp that it's never going to be replicated. I don't think Fender sat here and made this and claimed that. It's understood, but in today's new world in 2023, this is something that a lot of people are into. And there's a lot of gigs where, you know, they want you to bring in something like this, plug straight in, you have no stage volume. And then for me, I thought about this as like a backup, because a lot of times I'll bring two tube amps to a show because tube amps will fail. Digital computer stuff can fail too, absolutely. But tube amps are, especially 50-year-old tube amps, are really finicky. But if you're just a kid in your bedroom or whatever, you can have your guitar plug into this and then straight into your recording software and you're done. So it's the new world, man. But it was really fun to try this. Thanks to Fender for allowing that. I'm going to keep messing with it and see what I discover and see how it's useful to me. But if it inspires something, if it's fun, and it keeps me playing music and guitar, then isn't that what it's all about? That's all I got, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please subscribe, like, comment, let me know what you think. Check out my new record on October 13th. Should be available on my website for download, vinyl, CD, all that stuff. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Take care. Peace.